Now today, my guest, I literally was on set with this guy when he performed Michael Jackson. He probably don't even remember that. It was back in the days with TJ, who was performing a commercial, a Guardian Union credit union commercial, and my
Oh
man just
yeah.
and my man just busted Michael Jackson right next to me. Since then, man, I've kept up with this guy's comedic different things that he's been doing. He's in Boston now. So without any further ado, Stephen Carter, man, what's up, man?
Thanks for having me, bro. Appreciate it.
No doubt, man.
Dude, I
You
remember
probably don't even
that.
remember that, do you?
Oh, I remember that vividly.
Yo,
Oh man, that
TJ
was a
had us
funny
with like a
thing.
crazy like thing. He was just like, "Hey, yo, man, y'all go do this," and then everything was in line. And then he was like, "All right, Steven, you just gonna hit the Michael Jackson." And I was just like, "What?" But it came out good though, man.
Bro, I literally I was hoping he would win that. I think we were trying hard for him to win that.
For sure, for sure,
Because he had this plan in place. He had it all we're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
dude.
I
That
want to
was
watch that video again.
dude. Hey, look it up, man. Because we couldn't use Wells Fargo name, so it was Lales Largo.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
look
yeah.
that up, Guardian Credit Union, dude. That video is still there, man.
Oh
Hilarious
my
to this
God.
day,
I
man.
cannot wait to watch it.
Dude, man. So let's hop into it, man. I
Yeah,
mentioned you doing your comedy skits, if that's fair to say. So kind of,
yeah.
I want to kind of hop into some of that inspiration, man, because like I said, I know you from that short time span, and then
Hmm.
after that, it was a little bit through social media, and I just been seeing you grow, man, and it's wonderful to see. So let's hop into it, man. How did the whole comedy thing start, man?
Thanks, bro. Yeah, so it started. I've always been like a goofball. I was actually like, kind of like chill as a kid, very like quiet. But then like I kind of grew into myself as far as video goes, like with like skits and stuff, making people laugh. And um, it started when Instagram hit, when Instagram video hit,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then uh, or Vine came, and then when Vine came, I was just like, getting super excited about it. And I was like, the 6 second videos and stuff like that. And I was just, you know, on it like crazy. And it was just to make my friends laugh. Like it was just to make them laugh. And that's why I don't even post like, every day or something like that. Cause it's just like if I feel something funny, I just do it and then it kind of blossoms into something that like, your friends like expect it,
Yeah, yeah,
they
for
see you
sure.
as that now and they expect it. And uh but yeah, I've always like loved editing, loved video, and loved to make people laugh. So I just combined everything
Mm.
together. And since then, Instagram video came along with the 15-second videos, and then I was putting short things on there, and then Facebook and all that stuff. So yeah, ever since like 2010.
So
Yeah,
you've
20.
been at this for a while. So anybody that's seeing your growth now, was they weren't with you shooting in the gym back then, huh?
Right, 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 right. TJ was TJ. Me and TJ used to shoot videos in at Abercrombie.
Yeah.
We used to try to make it. Kind of started there, honestly, with because me and him used to just like shoot random videos
Mhm.
and do little things here and there, and then like I don't know. I just thought it was fun. It was fun to do it. It was like I got some inspiration. It's like, oh my god, that'd be so funny if I did this, and uh, so every time I think of something now, and it's grown to like where I'm a husband now and a father to be. So now it's like getting into, and your friends are going with you. Your friends are like
Yeah.
also husbands and wives and parents, and so like I'm getting into like different territory now than I used to be because it used to be like random stuff. Now it's like more relatable. Like they can understand it, and when I have a
Yeah,
kid,
like
it's
dude,
crazy.
it was one you did. I think it was like the husband I mean okay, when the wife comes home and the husband and you was like super washing the dishes
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
start
yeah, yeah.
doing, bro, I'm a fan, bro. Like I am
Appreciate
a
it.
fan, bro. Like I've been watching your stuff and I'll be like, dude, this dude is hilarious because it's so relatable. And I want to ask you this too, Steven,
Yeah,
because it's within comedic timing or whatever. But like a lot of people didn't like the Kevin Hart new special. And I
yeah,
felt
yeah.
like because I told anybody, I said, look, if you didn't like the Kevin Hart new special, it was based off of because you haven't experienced those situations
Mm-hmm.
yet. You're not married, you don't have any
Mm-hmm.
kids. different things like that. So for you, with you doing your comedy, how much do you try to stay in pocket with what's kind of trendy and what's kind of self-reflective to yourself?
Oh, it's all self-reflective. I usually never try to go with trendy because if I've seen it, then I'm like, oh, I can't do it now. You know,
Yeah.
like I actually deleted one video because I did it, and then
Mm-hmm.
I literally saw Long Beach Griffey, or I think it was him. He's like a comedy. He does that on Instagram and stuff like that. And I literally saw him post like a similar video, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't like doing the same thing as like I don't like following trends or something like that. I just like to do with like inspiration and what pops, like what hits me. And then if I laugh, I'm like, oh my god, that's funny. I should do that. Then I just do it. Like, and I can't wait to shoot it.
Do you experience any drawback with like, and hopefully this is politically correct to say, but how sensitive the times are as far as with
Oh
comedy?
god, yes,
Like,
bro.
so talk to me a little bit about that. What's that like?
From the beginning, I've done that though. Like I've been super uh worried about, not worried, but I always consult certain people. I have certain friends like my buddy John and like friend Bridget and Julie, and like certain people that I shoot the video to before I post it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes mainly to say, is this funny? Like, do you think this is funny? But then also there was one that I wanted to do because I got my I got my results back from my DNA.
Okay.
Like, and I'm like 25% Irish and like Nigeria, I'm all these things in like a long list. So I was gonna make a funny video about it. And then it kind of, bro, I got like an Irish like kilt. And like I actually was gonna go all in and do this video. And then I was talking to them and they were like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like it'd be funny, but like,
Yeah, hey, you don't want to get counseled by the Irishman, man. You don't want to get counseled by the Irishman.
I know. They were like, is it stereotypical? Is it, but and so I'm like, I've always been like that though. I'm PG. Like my stuff is pretty PG,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really curse in them. I don't do anything like that. Like I usually try to keep it family friendly because on Facebook I have a lot of, kids and just all ages on there.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I try to keep it PG and just keep it to where no one can say anything about anything, which is, I mean, I shouldn't be, but if I do find something that I do really love, like, oh, this is funny, and I will do it and post it in a savory way. But yeah.
So let me ask you this, because I've literally seen the groundwork of it, especially TJ, he's seen the groundwork of you. So coming from there to now where you are, to where, you're getting a lot of views on your stuff, you're getting a lot of shares. I seen one, it was like a whole bunch of shares. So talk to me a little bit about that. And I know you want to go further than where you're at now, but what's the journey been like for you on, like, from the first time you decided to post to where you're at now? What's that's been like?
Oh, well, I love that people. I look at the videos that they share, and I realize how, oh, these are relatable, and then certain ones won't get that. So the very beginning, it's just having fun. It's still having fun. It's still just kind of the same thing, except for now, I've gotten to a point to where they know me as that, and they kind of look forward to them. So, when they do come out, and I'm getting more into not just what I'm going through, but like more relatable things to where like I know this is gonna hit home for some people.
Yeah.
And then when you find that video, when you hit that, it's like, and it can't just be relatable, it has to be also funny, and or like, they can't really see it coming, or something where like, oh my gosh, it's I don't know, some videos just hit different for people than others.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
so I'm happy that happens. That's my favorite thing to do when I hit the mark.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to miss the mark, and sometimes that happens, and it's still fine. Whoever finds it funny finds it funny. It's for my friends. I'm not really trying to go crazy. I'm just trying to like make my friends laugh still.
Dude, you got one over here, and I'm sure many others, man. So like, let me ask you, what about when have you ever had a video that you was just like, man, this one I don't know if it's gonna do so good, but it
Yeah,
just slaps and it like everybody's on it. You just like, yo, what? Like, y'all
bro,
like this one?
bro. What I have, so my thing is the videos I take time on, the ones I really edit and like put together and like didn't take me long, but it still takes me certain. If I do like three people and they're all me, I'm playing three parts, and I do like three different characters and I edit them together and all that stuff, and I put this thing together, this like masterpiece, and then like it's like it gets like normal, it gets oh laugh whatever here and there, but like if I just like throw something together and like in 15 seconds, oh that's funny, and it's not even really edited, it's just like a short 15-second video,
Yeah.
and it goes, I'm just like I didn't even think this one was that funny. I was just like and that's I posted something on Instagram, and it was during the pandemic, during the height of it, where the toilet paper was like being was gone, and everyone couldn't find toilet paper. And so I took my CVS receipts, and I rolled it up and I put it on. It was like 12 at night. I like thought about it. I was like, oh, that's funny. So I went to the bathroom. I rolled it up. I put it on on this roll, and I just like pulled it.
Yeah.
Literally 2-second video. Barstool S'mores posted it on their Instagram, like 3 million views. I'm just like,
wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. Let me ask you this real quick. So what about when, all right, and I'm going to transition a little bit because you have a lot of things that you do, and I definitely want to get it out to my viewers and listeners. So you're, in most people's eyes, besides like family and wifey, of course, you're the funny guy, right? So what about when you kind of transition, and I don't know which one was before which one, but what about when you kind of transition into writing? Because you're an author as well, right? Trading Injections, if I'm saying that right. That's on Amazon.
The Trading.
Hey, I'm gonna plug it in for you, man. I'm gonna plug it in for you.
Appreciate it.
So with that right there, how are you able to kind of be like, you know what? Hey, I'm funny and I'm comedic in aspects, but I can also get into this bag over here. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that came in 2013. No, 2012 when I started writing it, and I was just in a very stagnant spot where I had been working in news at Channel 8 for 6 years. I wanted something new. I wanted to do something different, and I can't remember what movie I watched, but some inspiration just kind of hit me. And I've always been like a writer when it comes to like, short stories, whatever, just kind of writing, And my aunt, she's a, published author, and she writes. And so that day, just like, I was like, I'm writing a book. And that day, I literally wrote 5 chapters that night.
Jesus Christ.
Didn't even know what I was writing. Like, didn't even know where I like started developing a storyline. It came very like sporadic, like, and I think that came from a few things, just like inspiration, me being stagnant, wanting something different, wanting to do something different. And a lot of roadblocks writing that book and trying to get it published and all that stuff, like so many. But I was just like
like,
pushing
look,
it through, like
I'm about to get
getting
this.
it out. Yeah, it's happening. I don't care. Like things kept happening. I'm like, nope. All right, cool. Like let's keep going because I want to get this book out. That's a bucket list of mine.
What is Trading Injections about? Because I saw it and I was just like, what is this about? I need to get into this.
Yeah. So it's about a teenage boy who is born unable to walk. Right? He can't walk his whole life. He has to take these shots every week to help his leg get better because they're not sure what's wrong with it. So he's a family doctor. He has his family, and he's the only child. And no, he has 2 brothers. My bad. And he's the middle child, and he is growing up, and he's taking these shots every week. But it turns out the shots he's taking every week are not really for his leg, but they're actually memory shots being injected into his mind to block out his real past. So he has a past that the doctor, his family's been trying to help him forget and block it out. And so I don't want to give away the, ending or whatever, but like, he ends up just going through a journey of discovering his real past and what that is. And it's dark, and it's not dark, but it's like one of those things where it's a past that you would want to forget.
Jesus.
But at the same time, when it's kind of like when you're adopted, and you grow up and you realize, oh man, I want to know who my real parents are. It's like one of those situations where he just wants to discover that, and he goes on this journey with his friend to Europe, and they go on a wild ride of.
So how do you write 5 chapters like in one night? And then what you just explained to me sounds so amazing. Like, my God, how? Like, that's how, I just want to know how. How did you do that?
It's crazy to me too, because I'm writing my second book, and it doesn't come the same. You have to have a certain inspiration that hits you.
Trust me, and I know, man. I wrote my first book in 2017. It's on Amazon, and like right now.
Oh, nice! I gotta check that out. I know it.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't do like a chapter based book. It was a poetry and a short story book, ranging from different genres. It's about 46 pages. Just something quick. I wanted to get it out there, but man, I've been struggling to write the second book, man. So like, I'm definitely gonna ask you that too, man. Like, how do you stay in pocket with like, okay, hey, I got something out. Do I kind of want to rush? But then you said you look for inspiration, right?
Right. Yeah, I look for inspiration, and if I don't feel it, I don't do it. I don't put it out. I did actually write a second book. Mostly it was like 15 chapters. It wasn't done, but it was a lot. And I got to a point where I'm like, because my first book started off slower, and then it got action packed towards the end. And I was like, my second book's going to be action packed throughout. And so when I started writing it, I was in Memphis at the time, and I started doing it, and I got to a point. I'm like, what is this even about? Like, what is this even about? I was like, it's just things happening. I don't even know where to go from here.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't even feel inspiration just writing just because I want a second book.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so I just had to, make a decision to scrap it. Like, just set it aside for now, at least.
Dude,
and it was hard because
scrapping the whole book, do you ever come back to that, or do you just be like, it's over?
Oh, I'll come back to it. I can take parts from it that I like, and then because like with the first one, I really felt after writing session, I was like, that felt good, like that felt good. I like that. And then when I wrote my second one, I started doing that. It wasn't the same feeling, and I didn't want that to be. I wanted me to be proud of it. I want to be proud of what I've done, and not just like, well, the second book, here you go, like. And so I set it aside, and every now and then I go back to it and read it and see if I like or try to take inspiration from that. But right now I'm just on a whole new wave. I'm on a whole new book, like. And I'm still even trying to figure out, it's all about the storyline for me. Once I figured out the storyline for the first one, I was excited, and I was just like, oh man, like I haven't heard that. I haven't, like a lot of books, there's so many books out there, and you hear, there's so many stories. And once you find something original that you created, and the character's based on me, like his not being in a wheelchair, but just him as a person.
Yeah.
And I get to
how long did you take for character development in that? Because you wrote like an actual chapter-based book. And the reason why I'm so curious about it is because this is my first time actually speaking with somebody who's wrote a chapter-based book like that. It's always kind of like a quick book or something like that. So what was that character development like for the main character of your story?
I will say it was very therapeutic.
Okay.
And I say that because for your first, you can put, I pawned all my like insecurities and the things I've went through and like my like on him. Like instead of writing in a diary, like he was me, and I can say like he felt this, he did this, and put stories of me on Alex, the character. So, whether it was childhood, what he felt about a girl, what he felt about this time, it was very therapeutic to write and very real because some things actually happen, but it's the character Alex, they don't know it, they don't. So yeah, it was very therapeutic, and it actually lasted longer than it lasted how long it was supposed to last as far as the character development. But I didn't mean to do it that way. Like, if you know what I mean. Like I kind of luckily stumbled upon it because I was just writing, and then I realized, oh man, I'm like 10 chapters in. I might need to start to get this going. Like,
you might have a sequel, man. Are we gonna get a sequel of it, man?
bro. So it ended like everyone, when people read it, they were like, bro, you left me hanging. Like, worse is like, and I didn't think I did.
Yeah.
I really didn't think I did. I thought I like gave you a nugget to be like, oh, that's what happened. And you can kind of figure it out for yourself, or like come up with your own conclusion, right? So when people were like, yeah, where's two? I'm like, I don't know if I where to go from here, like I need the inspiration. Like, I'm not like I'm a different type of writer where it just like, even with my videos, like it just has to hit me, and then you see it. Like, I can't just come out with stuff. So the second one I've been thinking about, and I don't know if that one could have a number two. Like, if you read it, come back to me and then tell me like, hey, this could have a number two or not.
Hey, we're gonna have a special interview, and I'm gonna be like, yo, Steven, man, get a fans a number two, man. Straight. That's what I'm gonna do. Straight like that, man.
If you do that, I'm going to try to find a storyline for that, because I can't. I would try to tell you what happened, and maybe off camera, but it's tough for me because I thought I put all the eggs in there in that bag, and but I mean, there can always be a number two. There can always be something different you can do, and something creative you can come up with that can spin off that. So that's something creatively I have to think about and look at for sure, because I know people have wanted it, and so I just want to give them I want to give them good content. I don't want to, like, how sequels aren't as good as the first, so I don't want to do that and mess it up. So
I was just about to ask you that. Is there a fear for the second book, or just a second book in general, like not outside of Trades Injections? Like, what about just in general for a second book? Like, do you fear, like, hey, even though it's not of that storyline, it's something totally different, do you fear that it could be not as good as the first one? Is that something that you struggle with?
No, because I actually want it to be better. I feel like it can be better, and I feel that way because I know me. I know that I won't put it out unless it's ready. And like, if I scrap the whole book before because I didn't feel it, then I know that, like, okay, I'm not just putting anything out next time.
Yeah, for sure. Because people will do that, and they'll give you a sequel. Like, I was talking to my wife the other day. I was just like, I want a sequel for Love Jones, because Love Jones is one of my favorite movies. And I'm just like, but they might ruin it. And if they ruin it, I'm going to be mad. But like, it's almost a balance of like, you kind of want that extra, like you said, when people was left on the cliff for your book, you know what I'm saying? You want that extra part to it. And it's just like, it's just not there. So like, I definitely can understand that.
Yeah. Like Coming to America, like, we were all scared.
How did you feel about that movie, man?
I liked it. I knew that if Eddie Murphy and them finally said yes, that they weren't gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of how I feel about my second book. I'm like, okay, if I put something out, you're gonna know that it's gonna be better than my first. But I was nervous. I can't tell you I wasn't nervous. I was like, please, for the legacy of this movie.
Man,
and they stacked it with people and comedians, and they couldn't have messed it up. To me,
yeah,
I know.
I'm not gonna lie, Steven, man. Like, that one, I was like, I'm trying to see what was my emotions. Put it like this: I was not paying attention when I was watching it too much. I was on my phone throughout it, and I was just like, you know what? I might give Eddie another chance, man. I might give him another chance. But overall, man, number one, I'm glad that he actually had the guts to do that, because anybody
Yeah,
that truly watch different things, they could see that, like, okay, Eddie's kind of been struggling lately to get back into where he once was.
yeah,
So coming into a whole new, because this is a whole new generation that he has to entertain. So I don't think
yeah,
people kind of understand when it comes to, I'm
yeah,
sure you could kind of relate within your stuff too, like, how it was back in 2013 versus 2021 now it's much
yeah,
faster now. So do
yeah.
you ever experience, like, with your content, how it could have worked back then versus now? How does that kind of trickle with you?
Yeah, yeah, it definitely it's people I feel like people still love reading.
Mm-hmm.
People are more audiobooks now. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's gotten more into that. And so if I did come out with a book, uh it would definitely have an audible, you know, uh to it because I even love them now too. Also, it's it would have to be very entertaining. Like it
Yeah.
can't just be something that I just it can't be just anything. It has to be something new, something different.
Mm-hmm.
Some not anything that people have, heard before or oh I heard of that and that's it's been off of this book or copying this or that. It really has to be organic and like fresh. And then people will kind of gravitate towards it because there's just so much content out there. And you have to the way I promote it has to be different too. It has to be on social media all the time, every platform, just kind of, the way you promote things and the way you um, just try to sell it.
Yeah.
It's just so different. It's gonna take a lot of work, honestly. But unless I find a publisher that will publish it and promote it for me,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna, take a lot of work. But I think that honestly, I love to have an organic piece anyway, something that I feel is fresh, even though there's nothing new under the sun. I'm sure there's something around it. If I haven't experienced it or seen it or heard it, then it's fresh to me. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So I don't want to do a injustice to some of your accolades. So help me out with this. So okay, you work for Boston News. If
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so what exactly do you do then? Because I was just like, Steve, he's involved in a lot of stuff, and I don't want to say the wrong thing. So I was just like, it's better to always ask than just say it. So
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Well, I'm a photojournalist,
okay.
so I basically me and my reporter. We kind of team up and we go get the story. We interview people. I personally shoot video and edit
Mm-hmm.
the story.
Mm-hmm.
So we go out and get interviews, and I'm just behind the scenes, behind the camera. Um, lighting, uh, shooting video, editing, and just putting the stories, the pieces together.
So with
Um,
so with that, how long have you been doing that? Like, was this something when you were little that you were like, hey, I kind of got the gift for like video type stuff? Were you always around
no,
that?
it was very random. I had 11 jobs before I hit news. 11.
Oh wow.
There's probably nothing I haven't done as far as like I'm talking like construction, loads, restaurants, like Longhorn Steakhouse and Prattville, like you can name it. Like I've done it all. And so I was working at Abercrombie and my manager, we were just like figuring out what we want to do. And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, and I was shooting video at the time and with like TJ and stuff like that. And he's like, well, you like video and editing, like why don't you just like go apply at a news station? I'm like, yeah, go apply at a news station, sure. And so he's like, seriously? I'm like, all right. So I was like, where's the W? He's like, WSFA, go there. And so I put in the wrong thing and put in WAKA. And so, but I went there. I'm like, all right. So I walked in the front door, asked for an application, came back, filled it out, did that for 3 months. Well, I did that once every month. So on the third month, she was like, I don't know, you came in here quite a few times. Like, is there a manager you want to talk to? Now, notice I haven't had any like prior experience in this at all.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it literally, so manager came down, he's like, gave me an interview. And I just told him that every job that I've had, like what it would compliment in this job. I'm fast learner, hard worker. You show it to me, I'll do it. And so he kind of just put me to the test. Took me down in the studio, and I was like cracking my pants. Like, he just like took me in there, and he's like gave me a quick crash course, and was like, see what you can do. And so I'm like in the studio. I'm like, where am I? What's happening right now? Like, it happened so fast, and like someone's trying to talk to me, like, hey, I'm Mark. I can't talk to you right now. I got to concentrate. And so I'm in the studio, and apparently I did a good job because I got a call back a few days later, and he's, hey, you got the job. But I was making good money before. I was working at, for me at the time, Longhorn and Abercrombie combined, because I was working at Abercrombie on the weekends, and I was working at Longhorn Steakhouse full time, and as a cook, because I had transferred over, and I was just making good money. But they were paying me part time. They said I'm going to be $8 an hour part time at the station. So I basically cut my salary in half.
Dude, that's integrity. That's persistence. Like, how? Okay, so because you said that you was going there every month, like literally to apply for this job, right? Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about that. Like, what drove that? Like, it had to be some curiosity to this job to keep doing there.
Yeah, well, so I was kind of like trying to figure out my career, and then when he said my manager in Abercrombie, Chad, he was like, you should go there. I was like, oh man, so that would be, I would actually like that. I can see myself doing that, and I had to figure out some way to get this job. So I pulled in, and I saw, which were friends, great friends today. I saw Marcus, who was like working there as full-time photojournalist, like getting his camera into the car and doing all this stuff, packing his stuff up. And I was just like, oh man, they get to drive those cars, and they get to, like they got the big cameras, right? It looked cool. And I was just like, I want to do that. Yeah. So then I kind of got it in my head, like, this is what I want to do. Also, my parents were going to try to make me go to college, and I knew I didn't want to do that. I knew I wanted to find my own way. Yeah. And I knew that, like, if I went to college, the job that I would do would not need it, if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. And I actually want to know how, like, okay, because so did you ever go to college, or you just kind of, okay, no. So let me ask you this, because I'm kind of in the same boat with you. I have some college experience. How did you know back then, hey, I'm very direct, I know what I want to do, and this is what I'm going for. I'm not trying to go to school. I'm not trying to get into that institution. And this is no disrespect against people in school, because, got to be politically correct. But how did you know that, though? I'm very curious about that. How did you know that?
Yeah. Well, I just knew that, okay, 4 years. If I'm driven and go after it 4 years in what I want to do, I can surpass, going to college for 4 years and getting out and then finding my job. And I'm seeing my friends come home after college and, like, looking for jobs and, like, having to stay back with their parents and, just like in going in debt and stuff like that. And I was like, well, if I'm not sure what I want to do, if I don't want to be a lawyer or nurse, doctor, or whatever, like, that I need it, I'm not going to go right now. And so my parents are super academic, so they were like, kind of pushing it. And so the reason why I kept going up to the station was because time was running out for me. Like, they were like, all right, either you go to college or you find a career, like, you figure it out. And I was like, all right. So I kept going up there, and even part-time, even starting out part-time and making no money at all. I had a goal to move up and to, throughout the ranks, and just, that was my goal. And my parents were super proud and excited. Like, even with that, even making less money, they were like, oh, but you're in a career field. You can grow from here. Yes, yeah, you can grow from here. You can do this. So, so once I got in, all I needed was an in. And once I got in, I was like, all right, let's take off. Let's go.
So when did you start to notice, like, hey man, I'm here. Like, cause like now, like looking at your pictures and stuff, which obviously is something you've been doing for years, but like you really look like experienced in it. You like, look, you like a pro. Like, so what was that like once you started to kind of climb up the ranks for something that you worked so hard for?
Yeah, it was it felt good because I just know where I started and like in the beginning trying to learn everything from scratch because I knew nothing. And I had people around me teaching me and helping me and having my back when it came to like moving up and like, they knew that I would come on the weekends and train on editing and shooting and stuff like that because I was in studio. So I wasn't on the cameras. I wasn't a photojournalist. I was just in the studio in the mornings, like with the anchors, with the boom camera, stuff like that. And so I was training on that outside of that because I was like, I want to get to there. I want to be a photojournalist. So then people saw that, and then someone left, and then people were recommending me, and I was, going to my news director like, hey, like, I would like to do this. And so he gave me a shot. So 6 months later, I became a photojournalist, and it wasn't until 3 years later where I really felt like I got this. I'm not nervous anymore. I'm not, learning curve is not there anymore. Of course, now it changes because you can leave a station and go to a new one, no matter how many years you've been in, and they have a different editing system and different, different way of doing things. And so coming here was even a learning curve, but after a little bit of time you can figure out everything and become just more just feel like a pro.
So where were you? Okay, so you started off in Alabama with it, right? And then
Right, yeah.
Okay, then where you went to Memphis after that, or where did you go?
Yeah, I went to Memphis. I went to Memphis, Tennessee, where I knew I can build a reel because it's crazy there.
Yeah.
It's crazy there, and news is crazy there. So I spent 6 years in Alabama, 3 years in Memphis, and then I was trying to go to California, but they weren't paying as much as I'd like. Mm-hmm. So I was sad that in Boston, I didn't even contact Boston or reach out to them. I think they saw my resume reel online and called me, and I was like, Boston, like I never thought about going up north and cold and stuff like that. Like so, but people were telling me at the station, my reporter Wayne, he's like a huge mentor to me. He's like, go. He's like, that's a good station. He's like, and so so here I am.
That's crazy, man. Like your story has so much like drive and like will to it. And that's very important for people to understand. Like, it's actually inspiring to me because like I'm trying to, do my thing and then kind of move up in certain, jobs that I'm in or whatever. So dude, that's truly inspiring, man. I'm gonna kind of segue a little bit, man. Let's get into some rapid fire, man, or kind of like some scenarios. So give me your Mount Rushmore of comedians. You can do 5, 3, no particular order.
Okay. Chris Rock. Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
I love Kevin Hart for different reasons than them, but he's one of my favorites.
Out of those two that you just named, he's over them.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No. Are we going from 5 to?
Well, like okay. So I said no particular order, but in comedy, I feel like it gotta be kind of be an order only because it's just so serious.
We'll do order.
Okay, cool.
All right, so I'm gonna go from number 1 to 5.
All right, cool.
All right, so I'm gonna go with. It's hard with Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock, but I'm gonna go Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go Chris Rock. Then I'm gonna go. Oh man, because Kevin Hart's gonna be 5.
He just automatically said, hey, Kevin Hart's gonna be 5.
He's gonna be 5. But who's my other? Bill Burr. I love Bill Burr.
Okay, okay. That's a good one. Yeah.
And actually, I like Bill Burr. I'm gonna put Bill Burr number 2, then Chris Rock, only because content wise. Oh, decline.
Yeah.
I had a call. So, oh man, I don't have a. Do I have a 5? If Chris Rock is, yeah.
So we got, all right, so you said Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Bill Moore.
Bill Burr, yeah.
Who was your 4?
So number 4. So I'm gonna put right now. I'm gonna put Kevin Hart's 4 because I don't have a 5.
Okay, Kevin 4. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
So another question that I always ask, man, hero or the villain? Does Steven see himself as the hero or the villain, and why?
I love the hero aspect because, you know, I just like to. I try to stay on the good side of things. I like to be happy. I like to make people happy. I like to do the right thing.
Mhm.
And and saving people is something that's like a good, like a cool thing. Like I've always wanted to join the Innocence Project,
Yeah.
and I don't know, helping people, saving people is just like something that's within me. I think within most people, within a lot of people, people feel that some people just don't know how to go about certain things. Like they want to work for a nonprofit, but they also want to make money. So it's hard for people to do certain things when they have bills to pay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely say hero. Yeah, I don't want to be that.
That's a good answer, man. A lot of people always say kind of like the villain, so it's always different to hear different answers. That's why I make sure I ask everybody that question. So my last and final one for you, because you've been from Alabama to Memphis to Boston. I'm sure you travel a lot of other places. Strangest thing that you've ever eaten?
Oh. What did I eat? I feel like this is recent. I had frog legs.
I had frog legs before. Yeah. Casino?
I think that's probably
at the casino or somewhere else?
Oh no, somewhere else.
Okay.
they got frog legs at the casino.
Bro, that's the first. Matter of fact, ironically, with TJ, he took me to the casino and I had frog legs there, bro. That was crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's wild.
Dude, how did they taste for you though, man? How did they taste for you? It didn't taste like chicken.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't bad, but it was the weirdest thing I've tasted. Like it was I kind of masked it with like some sauce, whatever. But like I was too nervous. But yeah, I don't think I wavered too far off of like other normal certain foods. My favorites, I love fried duck. I mean, I love duck. I love lamb. So I do love meats like that.
Yeah.
But like, so I'll try frog leg. That was like the weirdest thing I've ever tried.
Was it actually shaped in the frog leg? Because the one I had at the casino, it was actually shaped in the damn frog leg.
Mine was, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Cool. I thought I was the only one. I was just like, yo, man, if they gave me the wrong thing, dude, it's over with.
I know.
So as I wind it down, man, I want you to tell people, man, what's the impact that Steven wants to leave, man? I ask everybody that as I wind down, what's the impact that you want to leave? Given that you're doing so much, it's a lot of happiness in what you do. It's a lot of true honor in what you're doing. So what's the impact that Steven wants to leave?
That's just it. I want to leave a smile on people's faces. Mm-hmm. I just kind of want people, when they think of me, to think of like laughter and funny and like, nothing like negativity. I just want to be a light to, when people are going through things, they can just like, scroll and find a video and like, just kind of laugh and have, a good time. And, that's basically it. I just want to, put smiles on people's faces and so they can have a better day, and get through whatever they're getting through,
Dude, you've definitely done it, man. I know for me especially, man, after this interview, it's a couple that I'm gonna watch when I'm doing like editing that's hilarious still to this day. So real quick, man, lastly, man, plug in everywhere that people can find you at, man. So shout it out, man.
Awesome. Well, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram, I'm Kodak Carter with an extra R at the end. Facebook, Stephen Carter with a PH.
Okay.
I'm also on TikTok now, and I'm doing a couple things here and there.
You dancing on there, man? You dancing on TikTok?
No, not on TikTok. I'm just mainly I'm trying to find my footing on there, but it's like it's just it's just I'm just like posting random videos on there. So I'm up on there now, Kodak Carter, without the extra R.
Okay.
But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yes, sir, man. Steven, man, thank you, man, for being on with me, man. I really, really enjoyed this. I'm sure we're gonna talk off air, on air again.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you for joining another episode of Sunny Side Up Podcast. Thank you again, Steve.